Hello, how have you been? I've missed you. I wanted to make a storytime video because it's been a minute, or have I even ever made a storytime video? I don't know, but I just felt like it because I ended up talking about this subject with a stranger recently, and it reminded me that I've never told you this story, and it's kind of part of my channel's lore. So I thought it would make for some good information if you like watching my travel videos, how I came to end up traveling solo. So how it all started was seeing someone from the city that I lived in at the time, and he was going away. We were quite new in our romance, so I didn't know him very well, and our courting period kind of just like got cut short from him having to leave on his pre-planned trip. So I carried on living my life as we do. He was supposed to be gone for like 6 months, so wasn't like gonna keep in touch or anything like that. Just like go do you, go live your life, especially when you're in your 20s, like gotta keep it real. So I forget what time of year that was, but come December, I get a phone call from the country that he was in, and lo and behold, it was him. And he was inviting me to spend Christmas with his family in Cancun. So for some people that would be like a no-go because they love Christmas and that's super sentimental to them, but I don't really feel that way about Christmas, especially then. I do really love Christmas now and enjoy it, but at that time I just didn't care about it at all. In fact, it kind of annoyed me. I didn't really like how it inhibited my usual activities. It's kind of like a Grinch back then, actually. So missing Christmas was like right up my alley back then. And in fact, I would go to Mexico for Christmas every year, no problem. So keep in mind, I don't know this man very well. I've never met his family. I barely know him. So we arrange it all, get it all booked, and I'm good to go to the airport because I'm meeting his family there. His mom, his stepdad, his aunt, his cousins, and I think that was everyone. I spent countless hours mingling with strangers as part of my career, so that part of it's like pretty comfortable to me. It was still like a little bit awkward because I've never been in that position, but it's not the most outlandish thing I've ever done, put it that way. So anyways, we land, me and his family in Cancun, turn my phone on because you gotta turn it off, and I have a long text message from the man. I'm reading it, and I think we were like waiting for our bags when this all happened, and he's telling me that he got denied entry into Mexico and deported, and they would not be letting him back in.
God! No! God, please, no! 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 No!
So at first I thought maybe he was joking, but then I reread it. So I told his mom, and she freaked, obviously, because that was probably even more meaningful to her. That's her baby and it's Christmas. So I think she called him, and I remember I was just like spinning, which I think is your adrenaline. I was like, is this real? This can't be real. So he was deported to Panama. I don't know why. Maybe that's like the closest. Why was he deported to Panama? Maybe he chose that. I don't really know. That's kind of weird. He's Canadian. So anyways, he's like, do you want to come to Panama? And I thought that was so scary. Like, never been to Panama. I'm pretty sure it's not very touristy there, and also I don't know him well enough for that. Like, this trip was a lot more safe feeling because it was at a really high-end resort and like with his family, and it just felt relatively safe in those circumstances, and I had been to Mexico before. So we go to the hotel, go to bed. I check in to a villa, a townhome on a lagoon. at the time was the nicest place I've ever, actually it might still be, I'm not sure, the nicest accommodation I've ever been in. It was like upscale, luxurious. Oh, it was so exciting. And like, I love hotels no matter what. Well, I have my limits. Some of them are too crusty to enjoy, but I love hotels. They just like really make me feel excited and happy. Maybe it's my inner child, I don't know. But upscale hotels are just like, I don't know, they do something to me. They move me. I love them. They make me so excited and happy, and I just feel like life is perfect when I'm in an upscale hotel. Because maybe it is in that moment. So anyways, I'd also never been anywhere like that where you have like a townhouse and came with like bikes, full stocked bar, a bedroom. Like I can barely remember it had an outdoor shower. I don't think it had your own private pool, but his parents' villa had that. Theirs was like a little more upscale. Yeah, and theirs was right on the beach too. Mine was on the lagoon. But it's not as fun, right? Like, yeah, you're excited. At the time, I didn't have a YouTube channel. Like, it would have been golden because I could have shared it with you guys. But so I'm like having so much fun, and I was posting on Instagram, my old account that I deleted, but I was kind of sad. I was like, oh, no one's here to like share this with me. It just felt so exciting, but also like really sad at the same time. So he ended up going back to Canada, and the family were like, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay? Do you want to go? I felt so weird being in that position. Now, and in my age now, in my state of mind, I would be like, hell yeah, I'm staying. I'm staying the whole time. But at that age, I felt awkward, and I was like, oh, and I'll go back to Canada. So ended up staying, I can't remember if it was 2 days or 3 days. I think it was only 2 days, and flying back on Christmas Day. Maybe it was 1 day then. I can't remember. It's been so long, but 1 or 2 days flew back to Canada. But in those 2 days, I think I was living in the moment for the first time in my life. Because I think there's some people that never live in the moment for their whole life. That's actually pretty sad. Life is actually 90% should be living in the moment, 10% preparing for the future, in my opinion. So I was like drinking coconut water out of coconuts, pina coladas, swimming in the ocean. We went to like really nice dinner. I got way too tipsy, and I think crept from the sun, and I like couldn't stay awake, and they had to drive me back to my villa on a golf cart. And I saw one of those like cucarachas. No, what are those little tree monkeys? They're like Mexican raccoons. They look like monkeys though. They look like lemurs. They're so cute. I've never seen one of those. I didn't even know they existed. I was like, oh my god, there is a monkey in that tree. His mom was like, oh, it's not a monkey. So anyways, flew back on a milk run flight. I just stopped in 2 places, I think, before I got back to the city I was in. I did not want to leave. I had a time that day. I had a really good day. I met people in the airport. Like, my whole world opened up that day. That was like the funnest, at the time, day of my life. And I was like, oh my gosh, you can travel by yourself. And it's fun. And what does that mean? That means that the only limit to your travels and adventures is money. Because otherwise, you're trying to coordinate with someone, do things they want to do, or like when can they take time off work, da 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 da. Do you get along? Do you like doing the same things? So once that happened, my whole world changed for the better. It was totally faded at the time, really heartbreaking. 48 hours later, I was good to go, and a new version of me was born. That is the end of the story. Let me know if you like traveling alone, or if that idea disturbs you.